Hi, folks. This is Mr. Wallace, your driver ed instructor at Wagner College. I wanted to bring up a very, very important part uh, of our course, which is the parent-teen driving log. Our parent-teen driving log makes up 50% of the entire course, and without it done properly and filled in properly, we can't give your teen driver credit for the course. So this video is here to help you understand what needs to happen in order for your child to get credit for this course and get the MV285. Okay, so this is a finished product. This is the log when it's done, and this is what it should look like. And we're going to come back to that, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what it would look like. Okay, so at this time, I'm going to bring you right out to how you can even get to this log. Okay, so your child is part of our class, and I use a Google Classroom as a way to kind of organize our class. Your child can get to the log very easily. Just goes to Classroom here, classwork. Here, there are all the topics for the course. Okay, your child will need to scroll down to the very bottom. That's where I have the parent-teen driving log. Okay, past quizzes, past all the videos, lesson number 1, lesson 2 videos, lesson 3 videos, lesson 4 videos, and he gets to the parent-teen driving log down here at the bottom. Now I have the sample log that you just saw, and I also have the parent-teen driving log. I'm going to click on this. This is the one that needs to be printed out. Okay. So, and I have a bunch of instructions here. There's a lot of them. That's just how important this document is for getting credit for the class. Okay, I'm going to go over everything that you just saw there while I'm showing this to you. Okay, so your parent-teen driving log requires a minimum of 24 hours of your instruction with your child in the car. Okay, there must be a minimum of 16 entries or drives. We saw those entries. They're down here, right? This is an entry. So this is when you're going to fill in the date here. You're going to put the number of minutes. That's going to be an observation. So I'm going to put no here. I'm going to put a B here. This is behind the wheel time. This is going to be the location where you're going to do it. So let's put like parking lot. We're going to use abbreviations for the destinations, for the locations. If it has any bad weather or darkness, we'll check one of these off. Okay. We're going to put a goal here. So our goal will be something like, I don't know, turning, for example, or parallel parking, or lane changing, for example. And then we're going to put over here a score. Okay. And the score is going to be important too. But before I get into that, let me first clear this out. And let's go back up here to all this information that needs to be put into our driver log. So you're going to need to have the student's name at the top. And trust me, I've had driving logs sent to me without a name. You need to have a client ID number, which is the same thing as your child's permit, your number. They're interchangeable. Client ID number, student license number. That permit number that your child has is going to be his license number for life for New York State. We'll need your signature here with a date next to it. Trust me, I've received logs that are missing at least one of these things. And we've had to send them back and get them fixed up. I like to use the word fixed up, get them amended. The rules for this, okay? So an observation is any time that you, as the parent instructor, are demonstrating some type of useful technique to your child, okay? Now, you could be driving to McDonald's with your child and helping them, describing your drive to them, okay? Commenting on your drive. Talking about what you're doing with your foot, for example. Making lane changes. This is all good. We can record this as observation time. You can even be outside the car with your child but telling them about what they need to look for when they're backing out or even when they're walking up to the car. Okay, son, it's important that every time you walk up to the car, you do need to take a quick look around. Look around, look at your tires. Look around at anything that's going to obstruct your view when you're backing out of the driveway. Take a look down the road real quick to see if there are any kids playing in the road or something, or something else that's going to distract you. Even that's okay. Inside the car, before you even turn it on, all the discussions and testing your child out with all the gadgets in the car all counts for observation time. And there's certain ones that we definitely want your child to learn. For example, where are the headlights? How do you turn on the windshield wipers? How do you spray windshield fluid onto the windshield? These are all things that count for observation. Behind the wheels, when your child is actually driving the car, okay? And that we need at least 16 of those 6 hours of all 24 need to be behind the wheel with your child driving the vehicle. Okay, so remember, total of 24 hours, 6 must be behind the wheel with your child driving the car. Okay, remember, I as a driver ed teacher cannot count more than 90 minutes per entry. You can drive as many hours as you want with your child, but I can only count 90 minutes per entry. And an entry is per date. I can't count more than one entry per date after it goes beyond 90 minutes. So I would prefer, if you don't mind, even though you might go driving more than twice a day or once a day, and you go 30 minutes here in the morning and 30 minutes at noon and then another 30 minutes at night, I would appreciate it if you just make that one big entry for the date and put that total amount of time there and divide it up between observation time and time behind the wheel. Okay, I'm moving on. And I'm going to switch over at this point to our practice log. Okay, so I'm going to go back up here. And I'm going to go to the sample log up above. Okay, so now we have it filled in. We have a name, we have the client ID number, which is the driver's license number. We have a signature, we have a date, and we have entries now. So our entries look like this. So I have a date. We have the observation time, 45 minutes. We have the behind the wheel times, 45 minutes, total of 90 minutes altogether. The location was a parking lot. The goal was just braking, stopping. Okay, and our overall grade that we gave our student was a 4. Okay, there's a couple things we need to keep in mind about all of this information. Right above you is the rubric, how to grade your child. I'm going to leave you to read over this at your leisure. Above that are the locations. The locations are wonderful because they go right with our videos for the course. Our videos are all taken from the Child Hospital of Philadelphia. They have a wonderful series about how parents can instruct their children. And they're right here. Okay, and I won't, maybe I'll play one for just a minute. Your child can access all these videos right here in the classroom. You as a parent can go right to my playlist, okay, for our YouTube channel, and you can click on any one of our playlists to access the videos that are assigned for this lesson. Okay, some of them have quite a bit. So if you look at lesson 13, there are like literally 13 different videos associated with lesson 13. Not all of these will be assigned to the class, but they're there for you, so that if you need them, they're available, and you can kind of peruse them, right? But these ones, especially in the beginning, are all going to be from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, and they all are there to help you as a parent instruct your teen driver. Okay, so there's literally 4 of them right here in lesson 1. Okay. And I'm going to go to, I'm just going to show you yet another one real quickly if I can. Thought I'd be able to go. There we go. All right. So let me close that. And I'm going to go back here. So they're still in the state of development too. But let's go to all these for lesson 2. Okay. Now these are all in the parking lot. How to instruct your child for scanning techniques. How to instruct your child for introducing them to lane positioning. How to instruct your child for how to back up. Okay. These are all here for your benefit, and they can be, you can access them right by going to our YouTube channel for the course. When you do so, I would appreciate it if you do subscribe, if you do hit the like button. All of that just helps us get our, just get a feel that you're using them on the one hand. And I think it also helps us bring more attention to driver education for, all our young people and on Staten Island and the rest of New York City and the rest of New York State. I think it's just very helpful for everyone. So if you don't mind, that'd be wonderful. Okay, so here we are. We're back in our Google Classroom, and I'm going back to our sample log. Remember, it's down at the bottom or towards the bottom. Here we are, the parent-teen driving log. Going back to our sample log here, and let's just take a look at what this will look like when it's completely done. So we are going to, once we finish a page, we're going to put our total observation time above here. Okay, so in this case, 2 hours and 15 minutes. We're going to put our total behind the wheel time for this page right here. Okay, and we're going to put our total amount of time for the page here. Okay, this is what an entire page will look like when it's finished. Now, with our ratings, please keep in mind your child does need to get a 65 or more as their total average. If it's less than 65, again, I, as the instructor, cannot issue your child the MV 285. So if you turn in a log that averages less than 65%, I'm going to send it back to you, and I'm going to ask you to do more drives with your child and get the evaluation up higher. Now, one thing we don't do is we don't weight the overall driver rating with the amount of minutes that are done in a drive. So it can be 15 minutes, it can be 10 minutes. Whatever your rating is going to count equally to another drive that is 90 minutes, just so you know. Okay. Once you, as you complete the drive, I would appreciate it if you put down here some type of total for everything you've done so far. And I'm constantly asking your students, almost every single lesson, what's your total number of minutes that you've been doing an observation? That's the O. What's your total number of minutes that you've done so far behind the wheel? That's the B. What's the total number of minutes that you've done in your car altogether? That's right here. That's 17 hours here. Okay. This, of course, will be for your page, and this should be page number 2, and I apologize for not writing in here. There's going to be a place for your signature and a date next to it. So again, as the numbers keep going, the total observation time grows, the total behind the wheel time grows, total number of hours in the car grows. And once you've reached 24 hours, now this went well beyond 24 hours, but once you reach 24 hours, I'd appreciate it if you submit it. Okay. It's just easier when we have a large number of students. It allows us to keep on top of all the paperwork. Now, we've also set the 7th week as the due date for the logs. And I really hold you and the students to that 7th week because it really gets crippling if people are sending in their logs after the 7th week. Usually there's logs that need quite a bit of amending, and that's understandable. So if you give us give us 2 weeks to go over the logs and send them back to you, and then get the new ones, the amended versions. That gives us enough time at Wagner that we can issue the MV 285s on time, which is, of course, what we all want. The 7th week is the magic week to send in your logs. Like, that's the due date. With that, please keep in mind that if you do have a 1 week vacation scheduled in, then it will actually be on the 8th week to send in the log. Okay. So when I say 7th week, I mean the seventh week of instruction. All right. So please do keep on top of the driving. If you don't, it really starts piling up, and it's hard to manage because we can only count 90 minutes per entry. So please keep on track of it, and please enjoy it. This is a wonderful experience to have with you and your team. It's a great way to bond. There's so very few opportunities left at age 16 and higher, where you really get to spend a lot of quality time with your team. I know parents, we all understand what I'm talking about. And same for you, teen drivers. This is one of your last opportunities to really get one-on-one time with your parent. Your lives are so complex now at this point, and they're only going to get more complicated and more complex as you get older. A lot of you will be moving on and away to college in the near future. And this is like one of those last experiences. You've got 24 hours minimum to enjoy each other's company. And if the drives aren't working out for a day, take a break. Go get ice cream and enjoy life together. Thank you for your time, and good luck with your drives. Please contact me if you have any questions or comments, or even suggestions. We're happy to get all of it. Thank you.